Hey, my name is Kathy Roberts. I'm the Tidy Tutor, and this is Throw It Out Thursday. Now, normally on Throw It Out Thursday, we get things to get rid of in the house. It's like just some motivation once a week to go through the house and get some things out of there. Because if you don't get things out of the house on a regular basis, you end up getting buried in clutter. It has to be a way of life. Well, one of my students from Tidy Tutor University, she text messaged me today so happy about a lot of stuff that she was taking to donation in her car. But one thing that she said to me was, now how do I get rid of the emotional clutter? How do I get rid of this stuff that I'm holding on to in my head? And I thought, what a great topic for Throw It Out Thursday. You know, years ago, when I was first, contemplating getting separated, I thought to myself, man, everything is his fault. And I was going over the way my life went and decisions that were made and how I was affected by them and how, I don't know, just things that really felt like it was an injustice. And then I read a book by Wayne Dyer, and he said that if we don't take responsibility for our lives, nothing will ever change. We always have to see what was our part in it. And I never did that before. I always was looking at what happened to me. Could this have happened to me? And how different it would have been if it didn't happen. And then I realized as long as I pointed a finger at my ex-husband or anything else, what I was saying was, my hands are tied. There's nothing I can do. And that would mean that my life could never change. And I sincerely wanted my life to change. I really wanted to be happy. So if I didn't let go of what I believed were the injustices in my life, I would have always held on to them. And they would always have been clutter that surrounded me spiritually, that would stop me from being able to go through the doors that I wanted to because I couldn't fit through them, not with all that stuff. And also, if I continued to blame and not take responsibility, now the word responsibility just means the ability to respond, not what was done was your fault. All it means is, how are you going to respond to this? The way we have to respond to things that just seem like, man, that was wrong, is we have to say, what was my part in it? And how can I move on now, given that situation? And do the best you can. Now, sometimes it means that you have to get out of a situation, away from something, or ask someone else to leave. For example, if you're being physically abused or emotionally abused, then that person needs to leave your life. You can't continually be kicked down the stairs and pretend somehow you're going to be happy anyway. Maybe your responsibility lies in taking the action to change your situation. Now, sometimes all it takes is an adjustment in attitude. Well, if this person is going to behave that way and maybe like not show up for dinner or, just ignore me, well, have a plan B. Go out to dinner yourself and enjoy something that you normally wouldn't. Maybe sit by the river and eat, or look out at Manhattan if you live close to New York, or go to the beach and eat by the beach if you live by the beach, or go to that restaurant you've always wanted to. Call up a girlfriend and say, you want to go out to eat with me tonight? Or make yourself a nice dinner anyway and figure out, how can I enjoy this myself? Stop thinking that things always have to be a particular way and in a box for you to be happy. That leaves no room for happiness at all. If anything is like a little bit of a wrench in there, you're going to be screwed. So have a plan B, okay? If he doesn't show up, then you say, okay, I'm going to do this instead. Not, beat up yourself or your life or your situation because it didn't go the way you wanted it to. Our lives and our happiness ultimately lies within us. Now I want to talk about the word forgive. And this is something where you really can let go of things. The word forgive does not mean that what you did was okay, so now I'm going to forget about it. No, it means I am going to untie, let loose that thing that was done to me that I feel was such an injustice, that was wrong. I'm going to untie it and let it loose and not drag it around with me anymore. Validate it. Say, yes, what was done to me was so wrong, but I refuse to hold on to it anymore. That person that did something that you feel like it's so difficult to forgive and you're holding on to the pain, they can't return whatever it is that was lost. They can't turn back time and make it not happen. You're asking for payment from someone who can't pay. So you will always be in a position of want and wishing. So you have to do this. You have to say, whatever it was that was done to me, it was wrong. And I validate that I was hurt. But I refuse any longer to hold on to those things that are hindering me from being happy from now on. And I'm going to let it go. I'm not saying that what you did was okay, but none of us are perfect. None of us can throw stones. I will always feel something on the inside based on what that was. But I refuse to make it make a difference in my life moving forward. So I let it go. And then all of that spiritual stuff that kind of like wrapped around you when you sat on the couch, there it was next to you, whatever baggage that was. When you walk down the street, you're pulling it like a ball and chain behind you. All of those things are still hanging on you if you're holding on to them. And you ever notice that whoever it is that hurt you, they're living their life just happy, and you're still engulfed in this pain? Let go of it, okay? There is healing available. I've had many broken bones at one time. They don't hurt anymore because they've been healed. Do I remember what happened that caused the pain? Yes, I do. But do I feel the pain anymore? No. Ask for healing, okay? Ask for healing. You'll get it. And there's something else that I really love. I just found out about. It's called tapping. Tapping works kind of like the same way as acupuncture. They have found that by tapping on certain spots of your body, it stimulates a section of your mind that used to be hooked up with your defense mechanism to keep you safe. So maybe something happened to you a long time ago, and so your brain calculated that this is dangerous. So when you think of it, it brings you to a place of run or uncomfortableness or this is scary. Well, if you tap and you think about that thing and you say, positive affirmations and you validate, yes, I was afraid when I was small of the water because my cousin held me down under the water. But now I know that the water is not dangerous, and I deeply and I completely accept myself. And then you go on to other sections and you tap. And what this tapping does is it brings your consciousness to a realization that that is not dangerous. It isn't, there is nothing wrong. You're not going to get hurt with the water anymore. And when you do this, it just releases. And a fear that you might have had for a long, long time is now gone. This works with so many things. Like if you have anxiety over relationships, you just tap and you feel the emotion. You allow yourself to feel the pain. And then you tell yourself that that's no longer true. You're now a grown woman and you're desirable and people like you. And you don't have to be afraid anymore that you won't have someone to love and that you'll be alone. And I completely and I deeply accept myself. And you do that, and then suddenly what happens is it goes away. Now there's specific places that you tap, and I'm showing you some. You go to the tapping, I think it's called tapping.com, I think it is. And wait, let me get a book. This book is called The Tapping Solution. Now, I have no affiliation with this at all, okay? This is just me giving you an informational thing about something that's really helped me. It's a fabulous book. I got it on Amazon. So if you want to let go of the emotional clutter, of the stuff that makes you feel bad, you want to let go of bad and grab on to good, then you have to be proactive, okay? Find things out and get support, okay? If there's something in your life that you know needs to leave your life, then make it go away if it's a physical thing. If there's just something that's holding you down because it's in between your ears, then you can do something about that too, all right? So this is Kathy Roberts, Throw It Out Thursday. It was a little bit longer than normal. If you aren't part of my peeps, please go to thetidytutor.com, put in your name and email. You'll get 10 tips from me, one a day for 10 days. They're absolutely awesome and they'll rock your world. And then also, we'll be hooked up. If you know anybody who would like this video, please share it with them. And let me know what you think. I love to hear from you. You can email me at kathy@thetidytutor.com.